The BBC television presenter Jill Dando has been murdered outside her London home. She was taken to hospital with severe head injuries and died shortly afterwards. Police say her attacker was a well-dressed white man in his late 30s or early 40s.
How does a BBC news reporter get shot on her doorstep in broad daylight in London and no one knows who did it? Please watch the rest of the video to find out more. On the morning of April the 26th, 1999, Jill Dando, the trusted face of BBC's Crime Watch, returned to her home in Fulham, West London. She'd been staying with her fiancé and dropped by to the house briefly, unplanned. At around 11:30 a.m, she was shot once in the head, execution style, right outside her front door. It was broad daylight, yet nobody saw it happen, and no CCTV ever captured her killer. There were no signs of forced entry, no robbery, and no clear motive. Whoever did it left without a trace. The case became one of the biggest murder investigations in British history. Over 2,500 people were interviewed by police. Theories ranged from jealous exes to professional hitmen, even speculation about revenge from someone featured on Crime Watch itself. Jill had worked on dozens of high-profile cases, including organised crime and sexual assault investigations. Had someone decided to silence her? A year after her death, police arrested Barry George, a local man with a history of mental health issues and previous convictions. He was known to loiter near BBC staff and had once impersonated a celebrity to get into a party. Police found a single particle of gunshot residue in his coat, and based on that, he was charged and convicted of Jill's murder in 2001. However, doubts still remained. The evidence was paper thin. After years of appeals, his conviction was overturned in 2008. He walked free, and the case returned to square one. With no solid leads and no forensic breakthrough, the theories grew wilder. Some believed Jill's murder was connected to her humanitarian work in Kosovo, suggesting a political motive. Unfortunately, despite extensive media coverage, many documentaries, and the £250,000 reward, no one has ever been charged since. Jill Dando was just 37 years old. She was engaged, successful, and loved by the British public. Her murder didn't just rob the country of a journalist, it left behind one of the most haunting questions in modern true crime. How could the UK's most high-profile crime presenter be murdered on her own doorstep? I'll now play you some clips of news coverage that was broadcasted shortly after her death.
Good evening. One of Britain's most popular television presenters, our BBC colleague Jill Dando, has died after being attacked outside her London home. Jill, who was 37, was found with serious head injuries and taken to hospital where she was confirmed dead. The Queen has led them many tributes. She said she was shocked and saddened by the news. The Home Secretary described her death as a tragic and appalling loss.
It's a quiet, pretty avenue in southwest London where Jill Dando had lived for several years. Shortly before midday, some of her neighbours were alerted that something was wrong. Two women went towards her front door and saw someone lying on the doorstep. A third neighbour joined them.
I heard the scream.
You heard her scream?
I did hear a scream.
Did you hear a man's voice or anything
No,
like that?
no man's voice at all.
And did you hear a shot or did you...
There was no shots.
Something
From what I would say was a shot. I wouldn't have thought there was a shot, no.
From your assessment, what appeared to have happened to her?
She was obviously attacked, and whether she was attacked with a knife or whether she was attacked with some sort of instrument, but she certainly... She is obviously very shocked what happened, and...
But she was conscious, she was talking?
She wasn't conscious when I saw her.
And what did you do, dial 999 straight away?
I personally didn't, but the people I was with, the two ladies who also live in the street, dialed the number and had the ambulance services there within 10 minutes. Or
What did you do with Jill? Did you comfort her or...?
No, obviously we were there, but without any sort of medical history between the three of us, the best thing was just to keep her sort of, unless she had woken up from her consciousness, and help her, but we left her there until the ambulance services came.
You saw this man yourself?
I have a particular vision of the guy. Yes, I did see him.
Tell us what you saw. What exactly was he doing? How close were you? What did he do?
He walked very calmly away from the scene, and when I actually saw him, I thought nothing of it. I thought, in fact, it could have been a friend of Jill's when I heard the screaming. That's why I particularly at that moment didn't do anything that now I wish I could have done.
I'd like to say RIP to Jill Dando, and I'd like to offer my condolences to her family. I sincerely hope something like this never ever happens again. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, as it really helps the growth of the channel.